Thank you, Spider. Good day, members of the media, fellow Saint Lucians, and all those joining us online. This weekend, Saint Lucia was once again shaken by tragedy. 3 young men, full of potential and promise, were brutally murdered, adding to what is becoming an unbearable, frequent reality in our country. Families have been left in mourning, communities gripped by fear, and the nation is asking, where is the leadership? What is the plan? What makes the situation even more alarming is not just the loss of life, but the silence that has followed it. The government did not issue a single word to inform the public. Instead, solutions found out through a media house report, not from the Ministry of National Security or the Royal Saint Lucia Police Force. This kind of communication vacuum is not only unacceptable, it is dangerous. It speaks to the growing culture of secrecy, complacency, and outright disregard for public accountability when it comes to the crime crisis in Saint Lucia. But that was not the only disturbing revelation this weekend. We also learned, again through the media, that Tyson, a highly trained canine, gifted to Saint Lucia by the French government, was reportedly poisoned. Tyson was not just a dog. He was part of our national security effort. He has already contributed to major drug and gun busts and was a symbol of international cooperation in the fight against crime. This news is horrifying, not just because of the act itself, but because of what it represents. For criminals to feel bold enough to target a police dog, it suggests a complete breakdown in deterrence and respect for law enforcement. It tells us that criminals feel empowered, unchecked, and emboldened. Let us not forget that when the Saint Lucia Labour Party took office in 2021, they shut down the canine unit. It was only after sustained public concern that the unit was reinstated. Now with Tyson's suspected poisoning, serious questions must be asked. Not just about criminal boldness, but about government's neglect and the security vacuum that allows this lawlessness to fester. This brings me to another deeper troubling issue. There seems to be a deliberate attempt by the government to hide the truth about Saint Lucia's homicide rate. For months now, the public has been kept in the dark. There has been no official publication of the homicide statistics and no regular updates from the Ministry of National Security. The United Workers' Party, based on an official count from trusted sources, estimate that there has been at least 40 homicides in Saint Lucia in the first half of 2025. Just let that sink in for a moment. 40 lives, 40 families devastated, 40 reasons for alarm. And yet, the silence from the government is deafening. We ask, why is the government holding the numbers? Is it because they have no answers? Is it because they are more focused on public relations than public protection? Or is it because they believe that if they ignore the crime problem, the people will forget? Well, the people will not forget. They are living through nightmares daily. Afraid to walk the streets, they are afraid to send the children out, and they are afraid of hope. We also remain deeply concerned that the government has still not concluded negotiations with the Royal Saint Lucia Police Force. Our officers are working under immense pressure, facing dangerous situations with limited resources, and all the while dealing with the government that refuses to prioritize their welfare. How can we expect our police to give their best when the morals is at the lowest? How can we fight crime effectively when the very men and women tasked with the the protection to charged with protecting us feel abundant and on the value. Saint Lucia cannot move forward without security, and we cannot have security without leadership. The United Workers' Party is calling for the following: an immediate update from the Ministry of National Security on the current homicide count for 2025. The people deserve transparency. A full investigation into the suspected poisoning of Tyson, including where it was targeted and what measures are being put in place to protect remaining canine officers. Urgent conclusion of negotiations with the police force to improve their morale and equip them with the tools and respect they need to do their jobs effectively. A comprehensive, publicly shared crime fighting strategy with clear benchmarks, community involvement, and measurable results. We cannot continue down this path. Crime is destroying families, crippling investment, and eroding hope, and yet the government continues to act as if nothing is wrong. The United Workers' Party will not stay silent. We will continue to speak out for the voiceless, to stand for the victims, and to demand action, not after another life is lost, but now. We urge all Saint Lucians to stay informed, stay united, and stay hopeful. Change is possible, but it requires leadership that is serious about safety, honest with the people, and committed to justice, not just in words, but in action.